What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode here at Tremblers. Today we're back at Tundra Vic's garage. We're actually going to do an upgrade of lights on the Gladi. So if you do have a Wrangler or a Gladiator of any kind and you do not have the LED package, you guys know these headlights suck. So if you have the halogen, I did switch out to LED bulbs a while back, but if you haven't done that and upgraded on lights, it's definitely a must. And today we have the super dope Project X Elite Optx JK70. So these are actually lights for a JK, but you can get the harnesses to make sure that they mount onto the JLJT. So if you didn't know, the rounds on a JLJT are 9-inch, and the JK and everything pretty much below that, it's a 7-inch round. So these are really sick. They record in UHD. They do have 2 different cameras on each side, and they are LED. They look really sharp. So we're gonna do an unboxing, and then hopefully we can get into installing these on the pillars also. Today we're gonna do this Project X Elite Optx JK7. They look really dope, and I'll unbox the box, show you guys what it looks like. Again, they are from 07 to 18. Those are a plug-in right there. But if you do need to put it on a JLJT, they do sell this bracket system. I'll put all the parts below on the description, and then if you guys want to get a set, definitely grab some. We're gonna break it down, take the front end, and install these lights and show you what they do. All right, so Tundra Vic's gonna do the unboxing for us. This box actually was really nice when I got it, but we went to EJS and we brought the box with us, and we were trying to install them out there, but we couldn't find this bracket kit. So we're gonna do the unboxing now. We already opened it, but I do want to show you how they package it because it is really nice. The box is heavy duty, protects everything. Yeah. And then you know, you get all the typical stuff, stickers, instructions, and then it's pretty simple setup, but they do have a nice little way of holding the lights.
Go to the app store and download the app so you can run the cameras.
Yep. So there is an app, like Tundra Vic said. You download the app, it's the Project X app, and then that way you can function with the cameras. But the lights themselves come like that. They're packaged nicely. Again, I already took the plastic off of this one, but they do have the protective film on top of them. And then when you pull them out, again, they're 7-inch rounds, but that's what they look like. I'm gonna try to get you guys over here where there's not a lot of glare. But it looks like they have 3 projectors, and then the cameras up top. I know one of the cameras is a 1080 and the other one's in 4K. So we'll see how that functions. But the install should be pretty straightforward. But you do need the retrofit kit for the front end. So we're going to show you how to take the front end off also if you've never taken that off to make these fit. And then we'll go from there. But there they are. 3000 lumen Project X Optx headlights right there. So we're gonna get started. All right, so once you get it all unboxed, what you get is the 2 headlights. You'll see a little bit of a difference in the backing. Some of them, one of them has like the bigger modules in the back. That's gonna be your driver side, and then your other one's gonna be your passenger side. It also comes with clips. Again, if you are putting it on a JLJT, you will need the retrofit kit, which is right there. It comes with the extra bracket. I'll put all the parts numbers in the description below, but you do need it so that way it covers the gap. The kit is really simple. 2 headlights, a couple wiring harnesses, nothing major. So we're gonna start taking the front apart. We'll get the whole thing installed. All right, so first things first, you want to remove the grill and their headlights. So the grill, there's clips all up here. Mine are obviously missing because I've taken this grill off of plenty of times. And then after you do take those clips off, you do just pull the whole thing out. So we're gonna go ahead and knock that out first, and then we'll start unbolting the headlights. All right, so once you get the front end pulled off, and again, it's just the clips up here, then you gotta tug on it. It does have little retainer clips that go into this section, so you just gotta be careful. If you do have a winch or front bumper, you might have to remove it. We had enough space to mess with it. There was nothing we had to do there, so we just pulled that off. And now we gotta get to the headlights. So we're gonna find out where all the bolts are for here. It looks like it's 10s there, and there. And then that whole thing should pull off, and same thing here. There's 3 bolts there, and there, and we pull those off. So we're gonna do that next. All right, so we're taking the 3 bolts off. Pull that out. I think that's it. Yeah, that should be it. Yeah, pretty easy. Dude, the one on the Bronco is way more of a nightmare. This one's way easier. Ooh, nice and crusty. So yeah, all you have to do is remove those 3. Again, I don't have the LED package, so mine are pretty basic. So maybe that's why they came off so easily. But it's just the 3 10s, and then it pops right out. So there's one out, and Papa's X doing the other one. So easy peasy, pop right out. Again, just the 3 bolts, comes right out. Now we're gonna find out how that kit fits in here, and we'll start installing it. All right, team, so now we're gonna get into the actual install piece. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take these brackets. Again, these brackets, you'll have to buy this kit. You can get it at Northridge, 4-Wheel Parts, but Amazon honestly has it the cheapest, and it's the bracket kit that goes like this. You're going to install the light onto here, and then it gives you a nice film that goes on top of it. It's like this rubber gasket piece that actually fills in the other 2 inches. So this will go in there on top once the light is mounted, And then what you do, once the light is mounted onto this piece, you take this piece and then you install it on the truck. So we're gonna go ahead and put it together on this first, show you what that looks like, and then we'll start putting it on the truck. This install honestly should take you about an hour. Some of the wiring usually takes a little longer, but Vic's already laughing because everything takes way longer than that. It does come with harnesses. These are supposed to plug right into your stock ones. So we'll see if all of this works out. If it does, then we're in the money. If not, we'll do a little bit of wiring and make sure that it works out. But yeah, stay tuned. All right, team, so you can see I put the bracket on here. I just kind of wanted to show you how good it fits. So the fitment of this is correct. It even notches up with the little notches that Jeep gives you. So the fitment is really, really nice. So now we're gonna put the light on it, put it together, and then we'll actually put the whole thing in. Stay tuned. All right, team, as we continue to put these on, I mounted the first one. This is the driver's side. I did want to show you guys something though. On the kit, they do give you the plug-in for your light, but the opposite side is the wrong side. I've seen people comment in their description when you're gonna buy them that they'll send you the correct one. But if you don't want to deal with that, if you already have the kit, you can actually just cut and splice these to your regular plug to the lights. But the actual one that goes to your harness is the right one. It's just the outside one. It's not. This looks like a really old plug, so maybe when they have the kit, they just kind of, you know, had put it in there for some of the older Jeeps. So you will have to cut that or hit them up and they'll send you the correct one. But that is one thing that I did notice on that Amazon kit that is wrong right off the bat. So when you get the box, if you do order it, make sure you check that first before you actually go into installing it, unless you're okay with splicing and cutting into the harness that the lights come with. So but we're gonna mount up the second one. The bracket seems to be okay. It does not line up completely perfect. I would say it's like 98-99%. You do have to shave off a little bit if you want to, but it mounts on correctly. So we're gonna go ahead and put the other one on, and then we'll show you how to route everything, because you do have to route an antenna, you have to give the cameras power and all of that. So we'll make sure we knock that out. Stay tuned. All right, team, so as we're mounting the lights, there is a few wires that you do have to know on how you're gonna route them. So the lights actually have to mount together. They do have this wire that connects. It's a 3-prong. It connects together with this light and this light. So we're actually gonna run it underneath here, clip it all together. Make sure you keep it from where it's gonna rub against something that might cut it or anything like that. So yeah, and obviously there's heat and all that. So you have to keep all that in mind. So that's the first thing you're gonna have to run is this wire here, and then we're gonna do the antenna also. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove this pillar and put it in here because it has to get signal to your phone. So the closer you can have it to your cab, the better. So that's what you have to do. So as you go and install, keep that in mind before you start putting anything together. Run all the wires, zip tie them everywhere you need to, put tape, cover them all up, and then finish the install afterwards. So I wouldn't even bolt on the lights until everything is completely wired. You check that everything works, and then plug everything in, bolt it up, and then close it out. We're gonna get into wiring, kind of clean it all up, and we'll show you how we routed it, and if you decide to do it the same way, we're gonna get to doing that. Stay tuned. All right, so one thing that we did notice when we're wiring, the plug that they give you is all black wires, so you'll have to find out which one's ground, which one's high beam, and which one's low beam. So what we did is we actually connected to a tester. We turned on the low beam. Right now we don't have any power, but we tested each one with a tester light. So once it's on, we'll be able to tell what wire goes where, so that way when you wire this to the other plug, it all works out. So all you have to do is plug in the plug they gave you, check the wires with power, and then you'll be able to figure it all out. So
now we cut the plug that they had.
Yep, so we cut the plug that I already showed them that. So but yeah, so make sure you guys test that, so that way when you do wire it, everything's correct and you don't end up doing some weird things with your lights or frying them up. All right, so as you're wiring everything up, again, like we spoke earlier, you do have to tuck in, get everything nice and clean. This particular part is the actual antenna, so you want it as close to the cab as you can. So on Jeeps, this actual panel pops out. So if you do have a JL, JT that you are putting it on, I think JKs have the same situation. You can just remove the panel right here, and we're gonna stick this antenna right there, so that way it reaches, and when we're on our phone we can see the video quality and all that. Nice. But yeah, just make sure you route it correctly, put it all out of the way. We're gonna finish the wiring situation here, and then we'll show you what it looks like when it's all installed, and then we'll start going through the features. Let's get it. All right, so once you get to the side where the actual big camera is, the 4K camera is, it has a different module, so you have to give it power. Vic, what are we doing?
This one's gonna go to ground, this one goes to battery, and it has its own little fuse, and then this one goes to ignition on only.
Yeah, so
you turn the camera on and off.
Yeah, so that whole thing is going to be included in the kit. It obviously has a harness attached to the headlight, but you do have to route it all correctly and make sure you put it out of the way of heat and damage. Once everything is plugged in, we're able to download the app, and then we can start using it. I do have a switch panel and everything. Some of the wiring is all pre-done already that Vic already did. So we're just gonna kind of tap into everything and make sure it works correctly. If you do not know how to wire stuff, get with somebody that does, so that way you don't burn down your truck, cause a short anywhere, and then make sure that your good lights work, you know. So we're gonna get into wiring that section, and then once it's all tapped in, we'll show you what it looks like. And if you do have a JK, and that's what you bought these for, all the instructions are actually really detailed. They show you it's really easy. You're gonna have to do a little bit more work if you do have a JL, JT to make these work. For the JK, they are plug and play. They're pretty easy to put on, pretty easy to plug in. Again, the stuff that we're having to do, it's more of a JL, JT, just to kind of clean it up, wire it, make sure all the DRLs, everything's working correctly. But if you do have a JK, they will just plug in, which will make things easier. There we go. One thing you should do if you do not have the wiring diagram for your JK and you're doing a JL, JT setup, you can turn on your lights and then you could test the wires on here.
Yes.
So that way when you have to mark them up and wire them.
One's going to be high beam, one's going to be low beam, and one is going to be ground. So right now we test this one. This is with the low beams on.
Yep.
So now...
yeah, so once we switch the switch to the high beams and you touch the other one, it'll light up. That's a good way to check it. That way you don't mix up the colors and you wire it correctly. Alrighty team, so we're wrapping up all the wiring here. Pretty much everything is set. We ran the wires, tucked everything in. They're either underneath here, they're on the side. Everything is nice and clean. Papa Vic is very thorough, does an excellent job with that. So what we're gonna do is put the grill back on. Dude, Vic, you're making all this noise, dog.
You want me to fucking work or do the show?
So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna put the grill back on. One thing that you do have to do once you put these lights on, just like any other lights, you have to adjust them to make sure you're not blinding people while you're driving. So right now we're gonna level them out. I'm gonna put the grill back on, and then we're gonna go back and align everything to make sure it's correct. So that part might be a little annoying because you might have to remove it, put it back on for a couple times to make sure it's correct. Finish the wiring, and then we'll test the app, see what the cameras look like, and show you the rest of the features. Let's get it. All right, team, so the grill is back on. So one thing that I did notice, even in the comments before we bought the brackets to mount these on, is that you might have a slight gap on both sides there and there. So it looks like about a ½ inch on both sides. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some spacers behind the bracket and see if we could push that headlight in so we can have more of a like a flush finish look. That's something that they did mention. Some other brackets might be a little bit different. I'll have to check on Magnuson. They've got a different one from a different company. I think it's JW. So we're gonna check theirs, but ours do have a gap. So if that does bother you, you might have to do a little bit of modification just to fill the rest of that hole. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna put spacers on the back and then try to push it forward. So as we work through that, we'll show you if we can cover it. Honestly, from the front, you can't even tell. The lights look great. They look really sharp, so we're gonna try to fix that, and then we're gonna keep moving.
Just point out that George isn't really filling his hole.
Yeah. God damn it, Vic. So yeah, so we're gonna get back to work. We're gonna try to finish this up and get out of here. Alrighty team, so everything's done, finished, wired up, tucked in, all that good stuff. So main steps that you gotta do, you gotta make sure you wire the antenna, give everything power the way it's supposed to. The instructions, again, if it's a JL, JT, you might have to do a little bit of custom work. But if it is a JK, it does plug and play. So you'll see the DRL, there it is. It has a nice ring around it. And then we do have the HPs in the front also. One important thing is that once you're wiring this whole system, there is a yellow wire. You gotta make sure you plug that in, because what that is a fail-safe for these cameras, just in case you do use them. You don't leave them on because they'll keep running and they could drain your batteries. Make sure you plug that in, and then make sure you wire everything else correctly, give everything power. It's pretty simple install. Again, if you do get that kit that's in my description below, if you do get the wrong plug, just hit them up. They'll send you the correct plug for your JL, JT, which will make the process a little bit easier. We had to splice and cut a couple things, but it wasn't that difficult. We ended up getting it all done. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna turn on the app. I'm gonna show you how all the features work, and then we'll wrap up the video after that. All right, team, so what I'm gonna do is we're gonna walk you through the actual setup for the actual app. So what you're gonna do is open up the app. It's gonna look just like that. And then the next step is you're gonna go to add device. You can choose whatever you're gonna add. So you can go rock lights, headlights. So we're gonna go with headlights, and you're gonna see it pop up. It's gonna say confirm. If it doesn't, what you're gonna wanna do is go to Wi-Fi settings, go to Wi-Fi, and then connect it through there. But since I already did it, it's already connecting to it, and it knows that it's something that's here. So we're gonna confirm. After that, you'll see the actual unit pop up right here on the right. You're gonna go ahead and click on that, and it's gonna open up the unit, and it's gonna connect here shortly. And once it does connect, it usually starts recording right away. So what you're gonna do is just stop it, just so you can kind of see. I'm gonna show you some of the features. So right now, it's on the driver's side headlight. So the driver's side headlight is 4K 30. As you can see, I'm gonna wave to it, 4K 30. And then you can go click on the driver, click on the passenger side, and it's 1080. You can wave at that, check that out. But you can swap from headlight to headlight to depending on what you're looking at or what you need to look at, and it'll actually help you set it all up. You can go video, you can go to photo, so you can go there. You can go to photo right away. You can hit snapshot. So you can go to video, you can go to photo, you can expand it, you can break it all down. It just really depends on what you want to get into. But again, it's easy to manage. It's easy to manage. There's a passenger, driver, and then a bunch of other features. You can go into settings too if you want to mess with megapixels, things of that nature. Camera, video settings, all of that. So as you get the product and you break it all down, that's really how you do it. But the install is quite simple. If you do have a JK, it's going to be even easier than everything I had to do. But breaking it down here with the Project X camera was great. Breaking it all down here with the JL, JT install was not too bad. We did have to do some custom fitment here and there, but nothing too crazy. But honestly, it's really cool because I'll be able to use this when I'm rock crawling. I'll be able to use it when you're parking. Anytime you need to look or record anything up front, some goofy things with your friends, whatever you want to do, the cameras are there now, and they actually look really sharp. So you would think that something like that would kind of look funny on the car, but it actually looks really good. And then the DRLs look dope when you're driving. So again, if you're looking for a substitution for your halogens on your JK, halogens on your JT, look no further. These are dope, and they give you cameras and they look dope. So yeah, shout out to Project X for creating these and for hooking me up with the set. I am going to be testing them. We're going to heat stress them, go through rock crawling, go through all the motions, and really put a beating on these lights and cameras, see how they really hold up to all the, you know, all the rain, the snow, the dirt, the dust, all that, and see how good the longevity of it is, the build quality. Everything that I put on the Bronco and on the Jeep hasn't given me any issues, so I don't see these giving me issues either. And so now that you guys seen the app, I broke it all down. It's easy to use, simple. On the app side, there's really not much to it. You click on the light you want to record, you hit record, and you get it in. They do have memory cards on both sides, so you can just pull that out or pull it from the phone. It takes a little bit longer to extract it, but you can do it that way. There is some pro tips that Jared did tell me about it, so once I get into that, I'll show you guys some of that. I'll put all the links to the products below, that way you know what to pick, what to choose from. You can go to Project X Offroad and then check all the features and details there. They are 3000 lumen, DRL, camera, all the above. Shout out to Tundra Vic for helping me wire all this. He always does a great job, and it all looks factory. It looks like it came from the dealership like that. So shout out to him for spending time helping me out. Appreciate you guys sticking around. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Patreon, all that good stuff. If you have any questions about these lights or anything else, channel related, truck related, anything, hit me up, man. I appreciate everything you guys do. If you do want to pick up some swag, hit me up. And yeah, until next time.